What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. We are live. You see, I had some little technical stuff I had to go through to get what I need going on this new platform. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Before I start, I'd like to dedicate my show tonight to my Aunt Carol. 1 year ago today, we lost her. This is my uncle's wife, and she was like a second mom. And so I'd just like to dedicate the show today to her. She literally always heard me and my uncle talking about football all the time, and she'd have questions, and I was like, you got to tune in, you got to tune in. But I absolutely love her and miss her, and definitely sending support and love to her daughters Lisa and Crystal and all the family. And with that, we're going to begin the show. We got Friday with the fellas back. We got the NFC South edition tonight. Jay Train from the Saints, what's going on? How you doing, brother?
Hey sis, how you doing? I'm doing okay. I hope you're well too.
I am doing well, just trying to navigate this thing called life. And we're going to be joined by one of our other NFC South friends. I guess we can at least say friends, at least until Sunday. Kevin here shortly. He's having technical difficulties. Typical Falcon fan. Let's be clear, everybody. Typical Falcon fan, just how they're going to be on Sunday, late and lost. Okay, so let's do a recap of last night, J Train, while we got you here. This is Friday with the fellas. Seattle and San Francisco. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't pay too much attention to that because since Christian McCaffrey's been down, I really hadn't looked at it a lot. But Seattle really started to come back towards the end. At first, I thought it was just the game was over. What were your thoughts on that? Two pivotal catches by DJ Metcalf that were dropped. I don't know if it was on Gino or Metcalf himself. They finally got it in the end zone with another recipient of that catch. What were your thoughts on the Thursday night game?
I caught glimpses and highlights. I mean, from what I saw, I just thought that San Francisco just dominated the game. There were opportunities for Seattle, but I mean, a costly interception by Geno Smith, and like you said, DK Metcalf with some drops. They just weren't ready, and it looks like I think the team in San Francisco just looks like they're better coach. Even with I mean, we got who is it? Debo Samuel. He came back. He scored on a 76-yard touchdown run. He's tough. He looks like he's in prime position to go on a nice run as well. I just really think that San Francisco is probably the pride of that. I was originally giving Seattle some props and thinking that they're gonna look like they're gonna take the division, but no, I think it's San Francisco at this time. Just looking at even without Christian McCaffrey, I'm gonna tell you the kid, the system. You got to give Shanahan his props because Jordan Mason is second in rushing in the league right now. So and you don't even know who Jordan Mason is, but Jordan Mason is a stud right now.
Yeah, I
But
do know who he is. I
again,
just found out about him. And speaking of right now, Kevin is just right now here. Notice how once he took that Falcon stuff down from the backdrop, now we can see him. Like it was like he had
Okay,
this
okay.
coupe in the background. It was really pretty. You guys know I can't really hate on what the stadium looks like. It was really pretty, but now that he's got just him and his
Yeah.
1989 T-shirt from when the Falcons might have won a couple of games, we can see him flying.
Okay.
So welcome to the show, Kevin. So J Train, continue to give us the update on what you were talking about this game last night. Kevin, feel free to chime in. Welcome to the show.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm glad to be here.
yeah, I just really think going back into, I mean, you have to really look at the system. I mean, being a Saints fan, I just remember Sean Payton. You have certain key players on the Saints team, but no big names at running back, no big names at wide receiver, but they were all able to buy into the system and have a successful run several years. And it's just looked like that's what San Francisco is doing in the Shanahan system. I just really tip my hat to them because they really look like they know what they're doing. And you got a seventh round quarterback that looks like he's Joe Montana over there, and you got your studs, but you got guys that are dropping off like flies, but guys that are replacing them. I just think they're the pride of that division right now, and I could see Seattle being second, but I tip my hat to Shanahan and San Francisco right now. They just look like the dominant team, like they were supposed to be.
And what are your thoughts, Kevin? I mean, they did go to the Super Bowl last year.
Mhm.
So to see them in that capacity without Christian McCaffrey just shows just how much they have depended on him for their games. And they actually look like they struggled a little bit on the offense, making crazy penalties and things like that. Those penalties that get you every time they gain the yards, but then they finally got it done. What were your thoughts? Did you get a chance to catch the game last night?
Yeah, I caught a little bit of the game last night. What I saw was typical Shanahan. Just the run game, the play action. I mean, it was just work to perfection. Seattle really doesn't have like it's not that like people need to realize that that Legion of Boom isn't there no more. That same Seattle defense isn't the same no more. And Shanahan just basically teed off on the middle of the field, running the football up the middle, wide zone, just downhill football. Because even the running back that came in after Mason got had the shoulder injury. I mean, he had I mean, it wasn't a great game. He had a decent game. I mean, the running game still didn't drop off dramatically. And then Purdy was just making the right throws. I mean, he threw 3 touchdowns, 255 yards passing, 20. I think he was like 21 for 28. I mean, come on. I mean, Shanahan is just. I always think about when Shanahan was with the Falcons and how Matt Ryan looked. Brock
Mhm.
Purdy is just basically a younger Matt Ryan, in my opinion. I mean, that's just in my opinion.
And
The way,
congratulations to Matt Ryan. Just got inducted to the Falcons Hall of
yeah,
Fame. Very
you
proud
seen it.
moment for him and his
Mm-hmm.
family.
Yeah, you seen it. So and
Yeah, I saw it. Pink says
yeah,
happy Blue and Black Friday. Happy Pink. Happy Blue and Black Friday, Pink. And yes, keep pounding. And hello to Early, my sister from VA coming in. Everybody coming in saying, what's crack a lacking? She said, good evening, fellas and sis. Okay, I see you. Yeah, but Kevin, you notice how once you started, going out memory lane, the show just kind of shifted. So I went ahead and
mm-hmm.
put those comments up there so you can get yourself together and come on back with some real formidable comments other than, you know, a blast from the past. Okay.
I feel
It
I
is the
understand.
Shanahan way. I do agree with you. Shanahan, he works, he's either for you or against
Mm-hmm.
you. Yeah. So all right. Well, shouts out to them. No telling how long Christian McCaffrey is going to be out. It's kind of like I don't know. They said multiple weeks with those double shin injuries. Now I know everybody's on here won't. This is the clearly an NFC South show now. This is going to be how we're going to be pretty much going forward. Friday with the fellas is back, and
Yeah.
you guys will all realize that I'm not filming multiple times a week, so maybe this will make you miss me a little bit more because I'm only going to be on Wednesday nights, the original Prim and Proper at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Friday, which is reserved for the fellas. And only if the fellas are not available, someone else will be scheduled. But other than that, this is our normal show. We're back, and we kind of just the NFC South. The only thing we need is a Tampa Bay fan, and don't volunteer. Jerome, because I know one that he'll be dying to get on. He's already been messaging me. When we get on the show, nah, because he's not gonna be appropriate on air. So I can't let him be on air. He'll be on something else. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, so all right, we got some big games coming up Sunday. Before we get to the game, the only game, and by the way, Kevin, we're not playing the 425, so we got time to go to church and eat a dinner afterwards. And then,
Yep.
I don't ever remember the Falcons playing the Panthers at 425. Do you?
Me neither. I don't remember.
I don't know if that's, because they really ain't looking for us. That's as close to a prime time game we gonna get.
Yeah.
We ain't got
I
none.
was,
It's
Or
doing us Atlanta. Excuse me. It's doing us native New Orleanians who live in Atlanta a favor because that game is at 1 o'clock
yeah, who
versus
y'all playing? Who y'all playing?
Tampa Bay.
yeah,
Yeah,
straight
so
division.
that's why they know that the South is apart. They knew it was gonna be a garbage fest coming into this season. So they're just giving us what we can get. And Pink says, she said, we will see you Sunday, Kev, in
Oh
Sweet
yeah, P. Oh
Carolina.
yeah.
We got that fire. We got that thigh out for them birds. And let me tell you, we are
Okay.
plucking and cooking them. Panthers eat birds.
Oh, they do. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Okay. Well, let's let J Train talk about his thoughts first on the Tampa Bay matchup. That's going to be epic. Baker Mayfield and you guys, Derek Carr went down, so he's out. You're bringing in your backup quarterback. Is this game in Tampa or in New Orleans?
In New Orleans, the
That's
Big
probably
Eagle.
going to be your only advantage because this quarterback that you guys had in there. I mean, I don't know too much about him. Fill us in, J Train.
Well, it's he's excuse me. I'm trying to say the word here without I have a struggle, but mercurial.
Oh,
He's
Mercurial. Okay.
yes. This is Spencer Rattler. I mean, everybody knows who Spencer Rattler is. This kid was highly touted as a five-star quarterback coming out of high school, and he went to Oklahoma. Was
A sooner.
successful his freshman year, but then he got benched for Caleb Williams, and then it all went downhill from there. But then he got humbled. Was on some series that is on Netflix that people looked at him and thought he was just too conceited, thought too much into himself. Well, this kid, like I said, got humbled, went to South Carolina, threw for 3,000 yards, 18 TDs, or 24 TDs, 8 interceptions, or something like that. He's good. He can make all the throws, and he's got a little bit more mobility. The New Orleans, the Big Easy fan base is excited about this kid. They want him to come. They've been calling for his name with Derek Carr. Derek Carr has been on a short leash. People are not excited about him. They're not excited about Dennis Allen down there. And they're really happy because we started out the gate just running and then we hit a
Yeah.
wall. We
I
met
mean, told you that all your points for the next 2 seasons was scored in
stop.
2 games.
Come on,
Yeah,
come on.
that was your whole offense the first 2 weeks.
Exactly.
But I will say this: we are hurt on that offensive line. It all started when Eric McCoy went down, and then left and right, you got your two starting guards went down. It's bad. I mean, it's just not good right now. You saw what Chris Jones did of Derek Carr. You know, he was chasing him the whole night. So I will say we need a quarterback that can maneuver around and get on the outside and Spencer Rattler. But let's say this: our defense is not the problem. Our defense, they didn't allow my man to throw any touchdowns at all that night. He didn't throw any touchdowns.
I'm
Yeah,
proud of you
they,
for that. I'm proud of you for that. But
So
I mean, the acclamation, the acclamation. Is he acclimated enough to carry the team?
some more
well, hold
victory.
on, hold on. Let me give you this stat. Tampa Bay gave up 500 yards to my man Kirk Cousins the last game. That's a nice stat for me to hear to my ear. That's lovely to my ears because that's 500 yards. You don't hear that often in the league ever. My man threw
But
500 yards.
but who on y'all team is Kirk Cousins
Right.
Say it again.
though? Who is
Speak
Kirk
up,
Cousins?
Kevin.
Who
Oh,
is
we
Kirk
know it's
Cousins?
the Falcons, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I called. What did I say in the beginning of before the season started? I said the Falcons would win the division, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa Bay or New Orleans would take you up on it. Take you down.
Yeah,
So
in the
I mean,
past 2 weeks
so
it's
far
been
right
tough.
now, you I mean, it's early, man. What are y'all 3-2?
Right.
3-2. Yeah,
Come
okay,
on,
it
Simmer
is
man.
down.
early. I'm not excited.
Everybody is like
Y'all make,
and let's be clear, why you guys are literally omitting Carolina like we're not part of the South anymore. I noticed nobody even puts us in the rankings. You're only like one or 2 games ahead of us, max. Like we have won. Let's be clear.
Sis, forgive me. You are in the South, but you are the South right now.
Yeah. So, but it won't be long, bro. So, all right. So, listen, we know all about beat up players and stuff because you saw how the defense struggled with Carolina with Shaq Thompson being out. Adam Thielen on the offense was out. Both powerhouses on both sides of the ball for Carolina. And so Andy Dalton, had to try to get it done. But that won't be an excuse on Sunday because we're going to have everybody lined up where we got them. Jaguars and Bears will be coming up Sunday morning, a Sunday morning game across the pond. I'm assuming 9:30 a.m. So for all of you all who put the Lord second, go ahead and watch that game at 9:30. That's my plug for Jesus. Okay. I have been known to have the game like on low in the backdrop, but I'll be at church. Okay, even if I'm there. Okay, Jaguars Bears 9:30 Sunday October 13th. We've already talked about the Buccaneers and the Saints, Commanders and Ravens. That's going to be a good one. J Train, I know the other night when I was on Wednesday, you had some comments comparing Jaden Daniels to Lamar Jackson. This is going to be the time we actually see what that looks like. What are your thoughts on that game?
Well, I think this is where Washington might hit a wall. I think Jaden Daniels is coming to play. And Kev, this is the guy right here. He told me that he didn't think anything about Jaden Daniels. He thought he wasn't good. Man,
I
want to
did.
hop
I'll say it. I
on
did.
surprised by that, huh?
I'll say it. I didn't. I'm
Yeah,
shocked. I'm not gonna lie.
but obviously, yes, he's going to continue to prove you wrong, my brother. I think
He a
Jaden
ball. Oh,
Daniels,
he a baller. I'm a he a baller. I already apologized for
but
it. He a baller.
but I think he'll play lights out, but I just think Baltimore is just too much, especially with the addition of
King Henry.
King Henry. Yes, I couldn't. Sorry, thank you. I couldn't even
Eric
think of his
Henry.
name. Yes,
Yeah, he been on fire.
and that's your league leading rusher right there too, as well, right now.
Yeah, that whoever got him on fantasy has racked all the way up. And sometimes this is
Oh,
one of those things the team does really make the difference. Speaking of, we got the Cardinals and the Packers. Cardinals have been looking pretty good. Packers, up and down, but that's going to be a good matchup. You got Kyler against Jordan. Jordan is back, right? Jordan Love.
Yes,
Yeah,
he's
so
back.
that's gonna be good for him. You got the Colts and Titans. I'm so used to Jacoby Brissett playing for them, and now Anthony Richardson seems to be having some type of injury. I don't know, bless you. I don't know if he's gonna be actually playing or not Sunday. I know he has an injury. You guys know anything about that?
I think it's like a shoulder or
Uh,
something.
yeah, it's almost like you can pick. You can take a pick of what he might have as an injury. He's just injury prone, and I knew that coming into the league from Florida. I was really surprised that he was picked at number 4.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's on his potential and his talent, but not his consistency.
yeah.
You clearly see that he throws a lot of interceptions. He's an interception machine. I just think they need to set my man down for this particular season. Allow him to kind of like a Bryce situation, because
Yeah.
Bryce is a talent.
But
He should be somewhere.
Anthony's been in a little bit longer though. I think this is year 3 for him though, correct?
No, they both came in the same year.
It's so weird. I see how I've just erased last season, just like it's just yeah. And him against Will Levis. Will Levis has looked good in increments, but then you will see him throw like 10 interceptions in a row. So that's gonna be a slugfest, pretty much garbage versus garbage for the AFC matchup. We got Texans and Patriots. Patriots did look good for a while, but I'm not too sold. That's gonna be Sunday at 1 o'clock, kicking off one of the 1 o'clock games. All these other games, other than the 9:30, is going to be 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Texans and Patriots. Kev, what's your thought on them?
Drake May is making his first start, so
Yeah,
we're gonna
shout out
see
to UNC Chapel Hill. Yes, sir.
UNC Chapel Hill. So we're gonna see what he made of. I mean, I think the Texans are gonna. I think they're gonna dominate because they don't have the Patriots don't have any receivers like that. The Texans play a lot of man, so nobody's gonna be open. So they're gonna have to really I feel like the Patriots gonna have to run the football, play action, screenplay, stuff like that. Because trying to sit here and try to drop back with this guy, this rookie who they already labeled as a project, I think they're gonna struggle big time against the Texans. I like the Texans big in that game.
Yeah, then you got Browns versus Eagles. I don't know, you guys. I mean, Deshaun Watson didn't get me that many points the other day. Eagles, Jaden Hurst looking like the latter part of the Eagles. I don't know. They're already looking like they're going downward. Is there still seemingly an issue in that locker room?
I think it's a Sirianni.
Yeah, it's the coach. And are they at home in Philadelphia?
Let's see. Probably
I
so.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They are.
I mean, I just look for them to bounce back. Man, what a disappointment the Browns are, man. I'm just really, particularly with that defense, man. I really wanted to see Deshaun try to bounce back, but it's just, man, he walked out of the game last time. He just looks dejected, man. Whatever's going on personally, it is affecting him on the field.
Well, for one, somebody came out like 2 weeks ago and said they were going to go meet with the NFL, another supposedly victim. So he can't
They
get over
settled,
that. And I mean,
they settled it
they
this
already
past week.
settled it.
They
But
just settled it this week.
wow,
Really?
he's
Yeah, I
settling
just
all these cases. But see, when they went in and they banked on him, they were like, "Hey, we're gonna be with him no matter what." So no matter what, they can't get rid of him. I mean, he's like a bad cold that just you can't get rid of. He's literally gonna be there. And they said they stood by him, and so now that's what they're gonna have to back up with. The AFC North was predicted to be one of the more competitive divisions this entire season. We do see that most of them were above 500, but that is slowly trickling. If the Browns don't turn it around soon, we're going to see them out with those paper bags again. And I did want to add to that as well, that even though their coach is continuing to let this go on, I was really shocked, y'all, that the Jets went ahead and got Sela, I can't even say his name tonight, out of there. That's an Aaron Rodgers thing. All he does is kills coaches. He got Mike McCarthy fired and on his birthday. I remember it was on Aaron's birthday in Green Bay as a basically a birthday gift to himself. Now he says they talk on the phone and everything. You are a coach killer. You are the issue. You don't want to show up. You go on these Buddhist retreats and stuff like that when you're supposed to be at practice. It's supposed to be building the morale of your team because you think you're the star of the whole show. And you're not even 100% back from this Achilles. Let's be clear, you're not playing the same. But then you get Robert Sella marched up out of there. And they said they called security on him. They didn't just tell him, don't come in. They basically they literally got security on him. And I saw somewhere where the Islam community had come out about that. So, I guess Robert, is practicing Islam, is Islamic. They came out about that. They didn't like that. He basically was literally forced up out of there. Like it wasn't just like, hey Robert, we don't need you anymore. But right now he's sitting at home, he's getting $20,000 a day.
From from what I understand is that in regards to the security, I understand that's protocol for anybody that gets kicked off the team, but they weren't dragging him out, they just escorted him out. Now, it could be true what you said. I mean, I hadn't heard anything like where they're struggling trying to get him out of there and forcing him
Oh
out.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the fact that they call security. I've never as many coaches as Carolina's had. We've never seen where they call security. I guess it's just so many coaches. They probably just leave the door open. They don't even get security. Now they just say you're in one day and the next day you're out. So they're like, like Motel 6, we'll leave the light on for you. Instead, they're like, we'll leave the door open for you. So maybe that's why I never heard of the security with Carolina.
Or those coaches are just like, you know what? Thank you.
Not Steve Wilkes, though. Not Steve Wilkes. Steve Wilkes was the last championship coach we had in Carolina. We had like 6 or 7 wins in a row with him. And then all of a sudden he was out. And then y'all see it's like they use him as a scapegoat. Last year when San Francisco made an offensive error that cost him the Super Bowl, they turn around and fire Steve Wilkes, and he's on the defense. I'm confused.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't the same 49er defense, though. I will say that. It wasn't the same one with Salah and D'Amico.
Yeah.
Compared to with Wilkes, it wasn't the same. If you look at those 3 years, he was probably the weak link out of Salah and D'Amico before, in my opinion.
Yeah, but when he was in Carolina, he was, like there's some Panther fans that have literally been irate still about him being, moved from the team. And they're literally like, until the Panthers do right by him, we're going to keep losing. It's like a curse. Like they literally said that because he's a minority, and they feel like, anybody else would have been given another chance. I think he had 6 or he was winning when they let him go.
He won game. Yeah, he won game.
Yeah. So, all right. So moving along. Oh, go ahead, James. You got something you want to chime in?
Yeah, I did want to say something about the Robert Saleh in relation to what's going to happen with the Jags coach Peterson. Likely, if they lose overseas, it seems like there's an overseas curse. People coming back losing their jobs. I want to go back to that. Who you said the Jags are playing? Who are they playing?
The Bears.
Yeah,
playing the Bears on Sunday overseas. And the Bears go overseas too. We're going overseas to play the Giants with our new coach.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Hey,
We can
y'all
get an
gotta get through
overseas game, but no primetime games.
the, y'all gotta get ready for the Falcons Sunday though. You know, so we worry about the Giants
We've
right now. Don't
already
worry about
handled.
no
We've
overseas.
already handled, honey. We've already handled those brothers, honey. They've already clipped and stewed.
Yeah, we gonna see.
All right.
We'll
So
see.
we'll get to that in a minute, Kevin. I'm trying to run a show here without just going in full attack on you.
Yeah,
But you
yeah,
get
okay.
it close. You just give me a minute, James. I apologize, brother. This is what happens. He getting cocky because they don't want 2 games in a row. But
I'm just
I
happy
guarantee
we won
you,
2 games.
as this season goes on, and I try to get y'all back on here, watch them say he got to work or something when they start losing. You ain't gonna be able to find him.
And I
He'll
gotta
just
work
be in
next
the
Friday.
comments. I'll be like, I thought Kevin had to work. He'll be in the comments.
Hey, tell me, if we lose, I gotta work next Friday. I'm letting y'all know this right now.
See?
I gotta work next Friday, so I probably won't be on next Friday. But if we lose, like what I mean, I'm gonna even be in the chat like, hey, great game, boom, boom, boom.
No,
But
we
if we
want you to
win,
we want you to go and act like you taking a smoke break or whatever, even though you don't smoke. And you gonna call in for 2 minutes and face this fire if y'all lose.
but if we win, I may come on for about 15 minutes, talk a little.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
15-minute break,
It's all right. It's all fun, bros. It's all fun. All right. So moving along, we got the Well, we already talked about the Dolphins and Patriots. You know what? We talked about the Patriots so much, I forgot they were going to be playing a Tua-less team. I mean, who are they going to get like that? Who is that quarterback? I don't even know who that is. They're still filling in for Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh, Tyrone Huntley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tyron Huntley.
the name sounds familiar from somewhere else, but
He played
The
in
Ravens.
Baltimore.
that's
Mhm.
where it is.
He
That's
went
where.
to a Pro Bowl too.
Right. That's not saying much these days.
It's crazy. It's crazy as it sounds. He went.
He
Oh, you
went.
know what, y'all? That's incorrect. That's what I get for looking back. They've already played them. My apologies. I was
Oh
wondering,
yeah,
like,
they played.
I scrolled too fast, and that's why I was like, why did I not get this? So hold on. My apologies. We got went the wrong way. So the Texans are playing the Patriots, Browns and Eagles. We got Chargers and Broncos. J Train, your old coach out there, Sean Payton, looking a little productive now. Jim Harbaugh has not been the winningest coach like everybody said that he was going to be coming back to the league with Justin Herbert. I mean, what are y'all's thoughts about the Chargers?
Okay, so this is where I was initially. I knew what he was going into in the situation he was going into when he got there. There's not much there. I mean, besides the quarterback, you got rid of receivers. You got rid of your running back. You had to draft a stud right tackle, or I don't know if he's playing left or right tackle. You can only do so much. I mean, you band-aid. I like J.K. Dobbins. I think J.K. Dobbins is having a bounce back season. Hopefully, he can remain healthy and continue to do great things for them. But he's just not. He has a injury riddled career thus far. So they're gonna bounce back. It's gonna take time. They're gonna have to build a team up. I mean, when he first got to San Francisco back in 2010, 2011, they weren't that. He built them up. He built that team up. I
I
mean,
will.
you can say they had some players there already when Michael Singletary was the coach there. But when he got fired and Jim Harbaugh came there and replaced him, it took time to build up a successful team into what they were. And I think he'll do the same thing with I was about to say San Diego, with Los Angeles. It's just going to take time.
I will say I almost forgot. Indianapolis is gonna be okay. They got Flacco again. Flacco is just like the quarterback that comes in when your quarterback goes down. We done seen him in Baltimore. We done seen him in Cleveland. I didn't even know he was still in the league. I thought he was home baking cookies. They done got him back in here now for Anthony Richardson. So they probably gonna pull that win out, to be honest with you. I just wanted to plug that in because I almost forgot. But yeah, so I don't know. People were hyped up. Kevin, what was your thoughts on Jim Harbaugh? Because everybody was like, oh, him, the two JHs, they gonna get it done.
I mean, outside of Raheem Morris, that's who I wanted. I mean, to be honest, because Harbaugh bring that physical brand of football. Like he bring the trenches, offensive line, defensive line, and that's what win games. I mean, Harbaugh even his brother, look at his brother. It's the same thing. Offensive line, defensive line, run the football, control clock, special teams, just all three phases of the phases of the game. So Harbaugh, I look for him to like really, build that team up, like Jay Train was saying, over the next few years. And I think I ain't gonna say they become a powerhouse, but I think they're gonna give Kansas City a run for their money in the next couple of years.
I wish somebody would give Kansas City a run for their money. Now I'm sick of them. All right. Excuse me, Steelers and Raiders. That's a no. Well, I say no brainer, but Jack always gets on me about that James and no on the Sunday show. I'm always like, oh, it's a no brainer. They're gonna win. I don't know. Some of these games are trap games. And I feel like Antonio Pierce is on his way to get marched up out of there, Suge Knight Jr. Because they got beat down off the rip. But Mike Tomlin is going to pretty much win that game. I mean, what is y'all's thoughts on that? Pittsburgh looks very solid. The black and yellow is blinging.
Well, reeling off a close loss to Dallas, man. I know they're upset. And where's this game being played at? Is it at home in Pittsburgh?
It's in Vegas.
It's in Vegas. It doesn't matter. I like them to run over this team. I think Brock Bowers is the truth as a tight end rookie, but that's about all they got there. I don't think there's enough there. And I really am disappointed with the situation with Devontae Adams.
Oh my God.
I'm not blaming Adams. I think I blame the organization. The Raiders has always been a crap poor organization in regards to how they treat their players. You go all the way back to Marcus Allen. You go all the way back to some of these other players.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, yes, it's just how they treat their players. It's just never been really good to me. And I this is no different to me. I just think if you were to bring in Davante Adams, you knew that you were supposed to he was coming there with the premise of playing with Derek Carr. Stuff happens. Derek Carr got cut. He got traded. And Davante Adams, you didn't replace Derek Carr with anybody good at all. There's nobody there. The man that plays there, Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew gives you about 1 or 2 games a year. And from here on, he's in the dumps. So I just really say it again.
He beat the Ravens.
That's his one. That's his one.
One and done, honey. He look like he about to go sell car insurance now, honey, with that tape-o mustache. It looked like a broke Ben Steeler. Well, I'll tell you this. We'll come back to our game, Kevin. That's about. I mean, that's pretty much what's going to happen there. Lions and Cowboys a rematch, y'all. You know the Cowboys swore they was cheated, or was it the Lions? Yeah, they swore they was cheated last year or something. They weren't. They did cheat. The Cowboys cheated when they beat the Lions. They kept doing that little extra point, going for the 2-point conversion, calling all these penalties and stuff. Does Dan Campbell and his Campbellites get this done in Dallas? Dallas is gonna be a hometown factor. That's gonna be a 425 game as well. Some people are gonna be suckered into watching that as opposed to the Falcons and Panthers game. Don't be fooled, y'all. It's not gonna be worth you watching. You got to watch the Falcons get beat down and plummeted by the Panthers.
By halftime, be able to watch the.
Oh yeah, because like the Falcons got routed down in Charlotte before 34-0. I can see something like that. It might be 43-0 this time.
Cam Newton ain't walking through that door.
Yeah, it's not Cam, honey, but it's the white version of him, Kirk Cousins. So, what y'all think about the Lions and Cowboys game? I mean, the Lions, to me, they're not as solid as I thought they would be. They have everybody still in play, but it's like these close call games that they shouldn't be. I mean, I don't know if it's just kind of like running out of gas towards the end of the game. I mean, there was a season that the Panthers played like that, and every game we just barely won, for a while, or we would lose because they just let up off the gas. And you have to play all 4 quarters. So, Kevin, I'll start with you first. Cowboys and Lions, is this going to be a good matchup, or it's just,
I really feel like the Lions are going to run that football down their throat. I mean, they just going to Gibbs, Montgomery, play action, J-Mo, middle of the field, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Laporta. I think the thing is, wasn't it like Detroit coming off a bye?
They
What's
rest.
name just got finished playing a physical Pittsburgh team.
Yeah.
They just got beat up this past Sunday. What's name just got finished sitting on the couch like watching them get beat up. So that's
Yeah.
why I kind of feel like Detroit just gonna go in. I'll probably say they win by maybe 10.
Ooh, that's a big one. J Train, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I can see there's no. I don't think there's room for a race. They defensively, Dallas would need to stop that offense from running because they don't have the horses on Dallas's offense to match that. No, they can't do it going to a track beat because they're going to get smoked. It's going to be like what Usain Bolt versus everybody else. My versus
Mhm.
everybody else. My thing is, if Dallas had someone in the defensive, in the trenches, in the center, you had a three technique somewhere. You get pressure on in the middle on Jared Goff. He gets
Mhm.
rattled. He gets rattled. That's what they offensive line. They have a very good offensive line, but if you can break that offensive line and get in the middle, you stop that offensive from going. Because that's what happened with Jared Goff when he was with Los Angeles, and then when he came here. As long as you protect him and give him time, he's gonna cut you. He'll carve you up, and I
Yeah,
think he's gonna carve them up because Dallas don't have the guys in the middle on that defense. So I agree with Kevin. I think it might be 10-14. I mean, when I say 10-14 point lead.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I personally, because I haven't been weighing in a lot on these conversations, I've just been asking y'all your opinions because I've kind of been like a little out the loop with stuff going on with studies. But I will say I don't know about 10 or 14 points. Believe it or not, Cowboys at home still kind of are a little bit advantageous. I give this probably a 4 point, 3 to 4 points. I don't want to say a full touchdown because you just never know. You just never know. And on the road, Detroit, different time zone. You just don't know. Now, do I believe they'll beat them? Yes. Do I hope they'll beat them? Yes. But I just don't know about the 7 or 10 points or 14 points you guys are
Well,
talking
let's go back in time. Let's get our DeLorean and go back in the past for a moment. Let's go back to that second game, the Saints versus Dallas at home in Dallas. They kind of did what we're talking about there. So I wasn't expecting that, but it happened. So they're susceptible, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. They are susceptible against a high volume, a high impact offense,
Yeah,
and
now I was
that's
gonna
what,
say
that's
that.
what Detroit is.
Yeah, now if you go the run game, then that's gonna be an issue. Um if the Lions go in there with a high powered offense, I had to think of the team I was talking about. High powered offense and extremely, up tempo, then they're probably gonna wear them out real quick. Because Dallas does look frazzled. They don't look solid. They don't look like they just got paid. Matter of fact, I was just thinking everybody that got all these big contracts are not producing. Like they're the ones that want to hold out, don't want to show up, don't want to do this, that, and the third. And you taking L's back to back. Like, but you held out for what? So that game, don't even waste your time. Just make sure you tune into the Falcons and Panthers game. That's going to be more interesting to you at 425. Got the Bengals and Giants Sunday night game. I don't know how they landed a Sunday night game. Neither one of those teams are spectacular right now. Bengals, didn't they just lose the other day?
Bengals. Yeah, they lost to Baltimore.
A
They
very
should.
close game, though. That was a
Yeah,
very
it
close.
was a good game. Joe Burrow needs to go back to being a brunette. That blonde, that peroxide has gotten to his brain. I don't
Hey,
know,
Joe
but
been balling. Joe been balling.
yeah, I
Five
was
TDs,
yeah, but
He
that
looking like Slim
defense, I
Shady.
have that defense on my fantasy. I think they only got me 3 or 5 points. It was very low. It was horrible. So
Bengals.
I'm not too keen on that. Giants still in a little bit of a quarterback fiasco, but they're running with who is it? Danny DeVito,
Danny,
Danny Dimes.
Danny Dime.
Yeah, Danny Dimes. He's serving up pizza on the sidelines. They made. What do y'all think? You think the Giants is not even a game that really counts? To be honest, they're in two different divisions. Do y'all think
Mm-hmm.
that they'll pull this one out?
if they can play the way they played against Seattle in Seattle, man, that seemed like a miracle game with the special teams and everything. And Slayton played out of his mind. The running back Tyrone Tracy stepped up, man. I mean, when you got that's
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do when you got guys hurt, you got guys that are not playing. The next man up mentality is supposed to be there. And the Giants did that. I have to give them credit. They went to Seattle. They didn't do it at home. They went away, way to where the 12th man is. The 12th man was not there. And they won that game, 29-20 or something like that? 29-20?
Let's
Yeah.
be honest. That 12th man was Pete Carroll. We have not seen the 12th man since he left. Let's just be honest. He was a 12th man. Bills and Jets. Who's gonna be replacing Sella? They done moved up the little assistant coach or something in the interim.
Yeah, Jeff Albrecht.
Yeah, I don't even know
He
who
was
he is.
former Falcons linebackers coach.
Yeah, a linebackers coach is now taking the helm.
Throw that
Okay, you
in
could have
there.
kept that shirt down. I'm about to throw up.
He was a D coordinator. He was a D coordinator though for the Jets.
Okay, I'm better, everybody. I'm back. Yeah, so Bills and Jets, Battle of New York, Niagara Falls to I don't even know the Meadowlands. The Jets, they really not New York. They're really New Jersey. But anyway, um, y'all. I mean, is this gonna be a game? I think the Bills gonna roll all over them.
I don't know. The Bills they look like they was coming out of the gates really fast, but now they've had 2 losses in a row, I think now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're it's starting to show itself. I mean, they have a really good defense, and I think Josh Allen is MVP material right now. But they lost their top wide receiver. He went down. Keon Coleman. Now he had 1 catch, but he had 1 catch for 49 yards and a tutty. So if they can allow him to flourish and get going, I think they can still stay afloat and stay on top of that AFC East. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard because I think the Jets, their defense, man, is just for real. It just Aaron Rodgers lost that game for them. He
Yep.
threw three interceptions, man. He lost the game for them for sure. And don't get me wrong, Alan Lazard was pretty bad as a couple of plays as well. He dropped some key third down catches and I think the chemistry is a little bit off. It's starting to pick up a little bit, but between Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson, that needs to pick up some. That's your star. For a guy to be there 2 years with crappy quarterback play, but still have 1,000 yards, you got to have somebody like Aaron Rodgers say, look, I'm better than those quarterbacks here. I need to make sure this guy's getting the ball and I'm getting in. That's going to be my stud right there. But I mean, come on, man. I don't understand. That's it. Saleh should still be coaching the team right now, but I don't know. Maybe there's some internal strife going on that got him fired. You're not going to get rid of Rodgers. Saleh had a bad record, so I mean, it's just what it is.
Well, I will say this, and then I know Kevin probably is interested in comment. This is a Monday night game. I forgot to mention that. Don't know how they got a primetime game. I guess because it's Aaron Rodgers. Everybody wants to see his behind. But Kevin, what are your thoughts on this garbage fest?
I mean, Aaron Rodgers gets another pass. So I think the Bills are gonna win. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets did win because usually after they after the team fire a coach, the team starts to galvanize together and stuff and more cohesion and quote unquote or whatever. And then next thing you know, they look like world beaters. You know what I'm saying? So I look for but I still see the Bills winning this game, especially after how they lost the game last Houston. I see them bouncing back. I just can't stand Aaron Rodgers. Sorry.
Yeah, nobody likes him. He's very self-centered. I know somebody gonna get mad and comment on this, but to me, he acts like the LeBron James of the NFL. I think LeBron is the same way. I don't care for him. He does stuff in the community. That's the only difference. But he is, look at me, look at Savannah. Let me stay in because my son's coming in the league, even though he only makes 2 points and all that stuff. So I know somebody gonna, say that, but that's just my opinion. And I can have that. Now, as we get ready, notice how I moved on, so y'all couldn't even say nothing. As we get ready to move on towards the last few moments of this show, we will dedicate the last few moments for the big topic. Falcons and Panthers will match up. I don't even want to talk about the win-loss record because the Falcons are leading it, I think, maybe about eight or 9 games ahead, maybe more. I don't even want to know. Don't even fact check it, Kevin. This game is in Charlotte. It's Sunday. It's 4:25. The other thing that I was thinking, like technically, I was supposed to be in Nashville Sunday with Dennis Cockerham and the Trailer Park Band and Citizens Band. They are doing this show. So let me just give them a plug real quick. They performed at the draft. They do stuff with the NFL teams throughout. They're going to be with the Nissan Stadium this Sunday with Titans and Chili Pepper Titans and all them. They got a show called Tailgate Crazy. Excuse me, a song. Tailgate Crazy is pretty catchy. We're gonna be doing a remix where we're gonna get all fans in on it. And in fact, I am going to be at some point remixing the hook with them and singing on there as well, so that we can perform in April at the NFL draft. So pretty big. Shout out to them. That's why I didn't even know the Falcons and Panthers were playing Sunday, because I was so focused on whether or not I could get to Nashville. But once I found out that the Falcons and Panthers were playing, I was like, if I go anywhere, it would have been in Charlotte, because I usually go to that game on PSL owner and I usually don't miss that. But yeah, so you guys are coming to Charlotte, and Charlotte is usually where we get things done. We beat you guys last year. I believe it was in Charlotte with Bryce.
Yeah.
And although we still have some holes on the offense and the defense with some injuries, some key injuries. In fact, Atlanta's coming in, I must say, solid on both sides of the ball. They don't have any key injuries right now. They're probably looking to try to run up the score just to basically show that it's not Bryce that beats, but it's Andy Dalton, a vet. And it would make them feel great to go up 85 and come back with a dub, because if not, that's a long trip down 85 South. Kevin, I mean, do you realistically think there's going to be a win? Do you think it's going to be at least a competitive game, removing yourself from the delusion of being a Falcons fan? If you could just speak up, neutrally like I just did. Do you think that this game will be a close one? And what are some key highlights you're looking forward to in the matchup on Sunday?
I don't think it's gonna be close, but it could be. Only if y'all do this one thing. Y'all gotta run that football. If y'all run that football and the Falcons go between the tackles, I think y'all can give us a game. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Run a little play action. I think y'all can give us a game. If y'all trying to, if we get a lead, I don't see. It ain't gonna be no 28-3 comeback. Y'all ain't got Brady coming through that door.
Well,
so
let's be clear. No team has ever been down 28-3 and lost such a prestigious game but the Falcons. So if you want to open that door, everyone can walk through and talk about it.
I feel you. You know what I mean? I feel you.
And where
Like,
and was that Super Bowl? Yeah. Never mind. Go ahead. You're okay,
yeah,
brother.
see, we're getting off time. We're going all the way back. We're going years ago. That's years
Keep
ago.
going down memory lane.
But like I said, if y'all run that football on this, I think y'all can give us a game. But in all honesty, I think the Falcons are gonna I think we're gonna blow y'all out. I mean, just coming off the
34-24 or something like that.
I'll probably say maybe 24 to maybe like 10.
Yeah, that seems to be like where we are too. That 24-10, or that's how we lost the Super Bowl. The same score. I think it was 24-10. It's crazy. J Trey, you're the neutral party. We are definitely interested in what you have to say.
Where's the game being played at?
In Charlotte,
Carolina.
home of the Carolina.
Is it raining?
I will check the weather while we get J Train's thoughts on that.
Yeah, good.
Kev, I have to agree with you in regards to the run game of Charlotte. Chuba Hubbard is having his prime year. This is probably his best season thus far. Say it again.
He's on my fantasy. He's racking me up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is, man. He's had a couple of 100-yard games there, and if they can get him going, that's like the puncher's chance that Carolina would have to control the clock and pull out a field goal win. But I like Deontay Johnson. That was a great pickup from Pittsburgh for you guys, and of course Xavier Leggett. He's coming into his own as well. You have a decent offense. It's just a matter of whether or not you can stop that freight train of Atlanta, man. They just where they are right now. I mean, you got that game. I watched that game against Tampa Bay, and all the receivers just lit it up. And then they got Bijan Robinson coming out of the backfield, and Tyler Algier. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be tough. That's a tough ask of Carolina to just go up against that and be competitive. I mean, that's be the only way they could really be competitive is to run that rock. And if they're successful there, they have a chance. But I think around 27-17. That's the score for me.
Well, I'll make sure I go back and clip the score predictions. As a matter of fact, you guys jot them down because next week we'll definitely be talking about it. I'm going to be honest. First of all, I just checked the weather. Sunny, high of 81. No excuse Sunday. Yeah. You guys to come in there. But no excuse for y'all to come in there and complain about our turf. It won't be wet. We will get it done. It'll be nice and dry down there. So this is my thoughts, to be honest with you guys. So removing myself as a fan, like say if Carolina wasn't my team, I probably would literally have a combination of what you guys just talked about. I would literally talk about the weapons that the Falcons have. They are stacked with that. Now, the thing you mentioned about Deontay Johnson, he has been playing every week questionable because he's been playing through these injuries. And I know because he's on my fantasy and every week I'm deciding whether or not to bench him. And I have to literally wait to game time almost to decide whether or not I'm going to play him because he's questionable every week. He's questionable right now. And so when you start to see a player that is questionably injured every week, that's a testament to your team overall. Somebody is putting too much of the team, carrying the team on that person to the point that they are injured a lot. Look at when Christian McCaffrey was in Carolina. He stayed injured and was injured a lot because he was carrying like everything. He was doing everything on that team but field goals, special teams. And so when you see that and you see the pull away from the key players because they're having to overcompensate these extra plays to make something happen, it's just a strain on your organization as a whole. So I say all that to say, and I know Panthers fans are going to be mad. I am optimistic, but I'm realistic, and I really don't see us pulling it out. I really do not this year. Last year, Grady Jarrett was out, I think, when we got that win because he had got injured. The Drake London was up and down. Kyle Pitts had missed a game or two, so he was up and down. This year, they are healthy. They are strong. Now, I will admit, when I went to see the Falcons in person against Pittsburgh, I was disgusted. I couldn't believe how sloppy of a game they played. But that was week 1, and a lot of teams did not play their starters in the preseason. That's what happens when you don't play real teams since last February or January. You look like that. That was like your preseason for real, except for go ahead and smile, Jason. New Orleans versus the Panthers, where y'all got 90 points on the board. So, nonetheless, I will say I want us to win. I don't think we will win. I'm going to be cheering. I'm going to watch it until it looks like it's out of control, and then my TV goes off. And when I tell you, as soon as the Panthers, like if the Panthers win, I'm watching everybody's game the rest of the day. When the Panthers don't win, I'm done with football for the whole day. I go and check the scores later. I have other things to do, especially with school now. So I'll make good use of my time. But the football day has ended with a Panthers loss. So I say all that to say, with them having this 425 game, even if I was gonna go, I don't really like that it's at 425 because I like to go and come back. And that would have made me coming back at like 9 o'clock at night, rather than if it's a 1 o'clock game, I'm leaving at like say 5 and I'm already almost home by 9:30, 10 o'clock because it's 4-hour drive. And so I don't like this 425. I guess like you said, Kevin, they moved it so people could watch the other garbage fest of the South. And I don't really care for that. But I will say my prediction is probably going to be like, I think our defense will stand up, and I think they're going to hold. It's going to come down maybe to a field goal. I'm not going to say that y'all are going to blow us out by no 2 touchdowns and all this stuff. As long as Andy Dalton protects the ball, doesn't throw any interceptions, and our defense basically tries to keep you guys off the field. Excuse me. Our offense keeps, I'm already I'm so focused on the stats. As long as we keep y'all's offense off the field, I feel like we can milk the clock, we can run the clock. It's gonna come down to game clock management. It's gonna come to a game manager, to be honest with you. Who's gonna be the better game managing quarterback? Kirk Cousins, because we've seen him throw some key interceptions too. Let's be clear, they barely eat by New Orleans, barely. And if y'all didn't have Young Way out there with Sesame Chicken and all that stuff, you guys would have lost that game. He put you guys into overtime, and y'all
Wins
better
a win.
be taken care of.
Wins a win.
Yeah, it won't happen. That you better straight out win in Charlotte because those wins won't work in Charlotte. Not above the Georgia state line.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be 17-13, something like that. I know that's a 4-point game, but it's how it's always an odd something there. I just think if we could keep ourselves from committing penalties and protect the ball, I think we got a solid way to win. And we'll make sure Kevin is available next Friday by video, even if he has a call in on FaceTime and I hold the phone up. He's gonna face the music next Friday. Um, Only 2 undefeated teams remain, and one on the AFC, one in the NFC. Minnesota Vikings, Sam Darnold, former Panther, former Jet quarterback, and a couple other teams getting it done up there. The NFC North looking amazing. Minnesota on top, Mr. Gritty himself on top. And of course, the reigning Super Bowl champions, Pat Mahomes and company, still undefeated. We don't know how long teams are going to remain undefeated. What is y'all's thoughts? It was we wrap up the last minute. Do they drop this L finally coming up?
The Vikings look vulnerable offensively. I just think that Sam Darnold he wasn't that guy in the beginning. I think they allow him to be that guy here. He's doing something, but some of his old habits starting to rear their ugly head, and so I think he's susceptible. They look a little vulnerable, and that defense is great. That defense is awesome, but they need to score more points to win the game. And you could see the frustration on Justin Jefferson's face in that game because they went up a really good defense. They went against a really good defense in the Jets. So they have opportunities, but they're not going to go undefeated.
They've just been lucky so far. The teams they've been playing. Kevin, your thoughts?
I mean, they both going on a bye this week.
Mm-hmm.
On a bye. Next week, the Vikings play the Lions. The Chiefs play the 49ers.
Ooh, yes.
Somebody loses.
Somebody gonna take an L. Somebody gonna take an L. And I hope it's Kansas City. I hope it's them. All right, y'all. It's been a real good show. I had a great time with y'all as always. It's so awesome to have you guys back with me. J Train and I will be on the Sunday morning big football show. They also do the NFL download on Sunday night at 7:30. Sometimes I try to make a pop in on that. Kevin will join us on the in between. I'll be on next Wednesday at 9, Prim and Proper Sports. I'll be bringing on again Fern. He's going to be talking some more New York Giants stuff. And then I will be back with the fellas again next Friday. Prayers to all of those who have survived and did not survive, the family members from Milton. Prayers for the state of Florida. This time it went across the entire state and is now out into the tropics as a cyclone. We're praying for that community. And with that, everybody, we wish you all a good night. Have an amazing weekend and stay safe, y'all.